This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, August the 23rd. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. There's a look at the temperature trace at my weather station, and I want to point out what happened around 4 a.m. or just after 4 a.m. The bottom fell out of it. The temperature dropped about 5 degrees, and that was with the rain that moved through the area. There's a look at radar showing the rain that was occurring as I was writing this blog post, and a good portion of North Alabama covered by rain. We can see the cloudiness on the Skycam from Birmingham, and the lights reflecting off those low clouds. We have a weak frontal system, a frontal boundary, and of course lots of boundaries from the various thunderstorms that have been going on all this early morning time. But generally it's high pressure, and that front that's out there in Missouri and approaching Chicago and approaching the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex will be moving through, and that will be giving us a change in air mass, and that means some drier air, especially by about Tuesday and Wednesday, and it'll be nice then. The upper atmosphere, where we've been watching this trough dig into the north central United States, and that trough is digging in, and we have another trough that is moving through the southeastern U.S., and that is helping to give us the showers and thunderstorms that we have this morning. Temperatures generally pretty mild across the state of Alabama. We're looking at lower 70s for the most part. As you get down towards Montgomery, they're in the upper 70s. And radar pretty active, especially across the northern third or so of the state of Alabama, and then we have some other showers back in northeast Oklahoma and parts of southwest Missouri. QPF-wise, we're not expecting much rain in the next 5 days other than what we have today and into early tomorrow. So the rain is going to be off, and that's okay because we've had a good amount. The Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a marginal risk of severe weather stretching from about Paducah up into the lower part of Michigan. And we have lots of thunderstorms over the rest of the southeastern United States. For day 2, they drop any mention of marginal or slight, so it's just some thunderstorms, and same with day 3. And notice that our area is quiet, so we're going to be behind the front by then, and that's going to help to make our weather just absolutely picture perfect and fallish. In the tropics, the Atlantic Basin, we're watching a couple of areas. There's actually 4 now. We have one just to the northwest of Bermuda. We have Danny. We have another one that's out to the west-southwest of Cape Verde Islands, and then one that's just coming off of the African continent. And of course, it is August. This is as we're getting into August, September, the peak time for hurricane season. And there's a look at Danny, a visible image. And Danny continues to be a rather tight storm. It was downgraded to a tropical storm late yesterday. It's expected to approach the northern Leeward Islands as a tropical storm, and then gradually as it approaches Puerto Rico, become a depression, and then eventually dissipate over the Bahamas. So hopefully it will do that. But I wanted to caution you that even though Danny may dissipate, there's still likely to be some heavy rains with that system. All right, let's take a look at the 06Z GFS model run this morning, and a little bit look at modeling. And there's our forecast for today, and the GFS picking up on showers pretty well over the southeastern U.S., and we have our little trough that's moving through in the upper atmosphere. The big trough hanging back in the western Great Lakes, but a small trough moving through in the southern Appalachians. The big trough continues to expand on Monday and make its influence felt, and that's going to help to create a surface low that will be moving into Canada and across the Great Lakes area. And you can see the front being trailing across down into the Appalachians and then down into the southeastern U.S. So it looks like the front will come through our area during the latter part of Monday afternoon, more than likely. The big closed low stays over the northern Great Lakes on Tuesday, but we see that the front has definitely moved the precipitation down into the southeast coast and down into the northern part of the Gulf. And I want to look very quickly here at the precipitable water values. Precipitable water values stay up on the 24th, so I suspect we could see some showers. But notice what happens on the 25th. We see the precipitable water values really take a nosedive, and that's good. And then on the 26th, we stay in that drier, less humid air. All right, back to the upper air chart. There's the 500 millibar chart for Wednesday, the 26th, and indeed we've got a nice trough over the eastern third of the country, and that will be keeping the weather just beautiful, and we see that dry conditions. And just out of curiosity, I was looking at the European, and there's the surface pattern for the European, and the 570 height contour there, striking the Alabama-Tennessee line, is about the same place as it is on the GFS. So the model's in relatively good agreement with this particular weather situation. Back to the GFS, the closed low becomes a little bit more of an open trough, but we keep the trough going over the eastern third of the country, and we begin to develop a pretty good ridge up the Rockies. And that should keep us relatively dry at the end of this week, too, with high pressure coming in from the western Great Lakes. The trough is there on Friday, and, of course, I think that pretty much keeps us dry, maybe a few passing clouds. And then by the time we get out to Saturday, the trough is much weaker, but it's still there, and we've got the ridge in the west. And then by the time you get out to Sunday, a week from today, we still see that trough. So the absence of any real heat, but we may see showers begin to return by late in the weekend. Going out into voodoo country, this is 276 hours, or Thursday, the 3rd of September, and showing a fairly active pattern with the trough on the east coast, ridge on the eastern slope of the Rockies. And then when we get out to the 7th of September, 372 hours, we have kind of a weak pattern, but there's a weakness there over Texas, so we may be seeing some rain as we get into September. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. James Spann will be back in the saddle with the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blogs for later notes about Alabama's ever-changing weather. I hope you have a great Sunday. Godspeed.